What's going on, Sky Squad? We are back in the building, y'all. Happy Sunday fun day. We about to talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville, y'all. We about to get into the thing about Love and Marriage Huntsville. Did y'all see it last night, baby? Miss Marlene took me out. So what? She had a baby on the side. So what? So what? I ain't losing no sleep over it. I guess not. He ain't your husband, okay? Baby, last night took me out of this world. All right, I left my body. Okay. We about to get into the thing. We about to get into the doggone thing today, baby. I watched it again this morning. That's how good I thought it was. I watched it again this morning. So, we about to get into this thingerization right on up in here, right now, baby. If you are in the chatterization, my name is Richie Skye, and I welcome you to our Sunday Fun Day recap of Love and Marriage Huntsville Season 3, Episode 15. Wrecking Ball Wanda is back in the building. Now, granted, Wanda was only in about 10 minutes of the episode, but, she still did enough damage to, get a title, okay? She got a title up in this jamboree. All right. If you are watching in the chatterization, let us know where you're watching from because you know. We like to know where y'all watching from. Hey, that's right. Watch it right now. Watch it. I am reading some of y'all comments, and baby, y'all are ready today. Okay? I see y'all in the building, Mobile, Alabama. It's drizzling in San Francisco, baby. I understand it. It's still in a little something. I don't know what it's doing out here in DC. I can't really see right now, but we about to get into the thing before I head on out to brunch. Nairobi, baby, I see you. Let's go ahead and get down into this thing because y'all know I could take all day. I could take all day greeting y'all, okay? Before we start this episode review, let me know in the chat what you would rate this episode on a scale of 1 to 10. And I am going to rate it an 11, okay? I'm going to give it an 11. I have been waiting for this episode, y'all. And ever since we got that little mid-season sort of teaser or end-of-season teaser, I've been sitting on pins and needles like, where is Miss Wanda? Where is Miss Marlene? And where is Miss Vanessa, baby? When are they going to come on out with it? And I see some of y'all felt the same way. Now, how you give it a 5.5, baby? Go ahead and let me know why you said that in the chat. We got some 10 plus, baby, 10, 9. Okay, I see y'all 10 plus. I got a 12 in the building. Come on now. LaShawn says, out the gate, Miss Wanda better get hooked on phonics and not that freeze. She said, disrespect for coercion and ghetto are not words. Rated 15, baby. I understand. Listen, the mamas gave plenty of drama. And thank you for that super chat, boo. I appreciate you. We gotta get into I asked a question. It was, you know what? Ghetto, okay? It's ghetto, okay? You know what, though? I have to say this before we start. And dialect, and the way the words are pronounced, it's just so rooted in like the deep South. And I love it because I can so identify with it because in some of these characters and family members, I can see my own family members. You know what I'm saying? Mostly because I'm from the South. So, as I'm listening, it's resonating to me that it's happening. But Miss Wanda did look good in her confessional, though. She did. The mamas took the show over. Let's get started with the review. So this scene right here to set things off is Maurice and Kimmy. Now, Maurice and Kimmy roll up on a plot of land, okay? Now, Kimmy is under the thought that they about to build a dream home on this lot that's on a corner, okay? Ain't nothing but bushes there right now. It's nothing but bushes, nothing but trees in the background. It's nothing but trees, okay? And it's on a corner, and it's got a hill looking up, and Kimmy is just infatuated with this plot of land. But little does she know, okay, this about to be her new work, okay? Because Maurice tells her, oh, no, baby, we're not about to move here. This is going to be the spec house. And she's like, spec house? Well, what I'm doing up here in the bushes for then? Because you did not communicate that with me. So then Maurice begins to roll off the list of things that he's already done. Well, I talked to Marceau about, getting the building and stuff done. And we're thinking about working with Martell. And she's like, Martell don't even have a builder's license. And he's like, that's okay. He knows somebody that do. Okay. And so then I'm talking to Uncle Mike about doing some building on the land as well. And Kimmy is like, no, wait a minute. And then Maurice is like, this is the house that you're going to work on, because we need to build up your real estate portfolio. You are almost done with the house with Jalen. So now it's your turn to work on this here. And Kimmy's like, now wait, now hold on. Okay. She said, I thought we was coming here to look at our dream home. You just now telling me that this is about to be a spec house? And he's like, oh yeah, I did forgot. I left out that little detail. So mind you, think about it like this. I think I'm going to see the plot where my new dream home is about to be laid down. And little do I know that this is my homework assignment, okay? This is my homework assignment. And she calls a thing the thing. She says, Maurice, you are always doing this. You are always putting, figuring out things to do for my life, doing all of these things to get the ball rolling. And then you're going to leave me with the ball that you've already set in motion with the tools that you have already used, because you're going to have so many other things to do with your business that you don't have time to get those things done. And so he's just kind of sitting there open mouth like, Now, see, here's the thing about Maurice. Maurice get to putting on the googly eyes and the puppy dog eyes, and Kimmy just fall right back up into the spell. Okay, she does. He get to looking at her. You know what I'm saying, with the eyes. With the look, he do it every time. And she just fall right back into it. And then the next thing you know is he's like, well, he shifts gears real quick. I want y'all to know he shifted those gears so quick. He was like, so she's going off about that, and she's trying. You know how Kimmy will educate you real quick. I mean, and she will do it in a very nice and polite fashion. But she was like, trying to get him together, and then he goes and talks about, well, because she brings up, stuff that he will do the same thing with activities for Monster, and arranging things for her to do for him when he's supposed to be the one doing those things. And he was like, well, we got Monster back on the right track and everything is all good. And he's going to be doing all these activities, and Monster's going to be a leader in the free world. He is going to be Martin Luther King. Okay. And so then he says this. Yeah, we got him all straight, but I'm going to still need you to come pick him up from time to time from all the activities that I didn't sign him up for. And she's like, well, doggone it, you done it again. I got things to do. I don't have time to be running around picking up Monster from all these activities that you have signed him up for, okay? And so at the end of the day, at the end of the conversation, after she's trying to tell him what she's not going to do, he's like, well, give me a kiss, girl. Give me a kiss. And she fall right back into it. Every time. Now, I get it. That's her man. She attracted to him. You know what I'm saying? But he be pulling the wool over her eyes all the time. All the doggone time. And Kimmy, she recognized it, but she's still in love with that man. Okay? She's still in love with that man. I ain't mad at her. I ain't mad at him either. But, at the end of the day, it's just like, we're going to call the thing what's happening. That's what we see, the pattern there. Okay? This scene right here took me out. Martell is meeting with his mom, Miss Marlene, and I love me some Miss Marlene. But Miss Marlene, we got to talk, okay? Now, Martell talking about how he don't want to learn how to do his little girl's hair, but he's, those are things that he felt like it should be left to the woman, okay? Now I wanted to go in on him right when I saw him say that. But then he turned around and said, but he's going to learn as a single dad. And I said, you better. Okay, you better. Because you better not have this little girl running around here looking all types of ways when she about to go to school and she under your care. You better not. You better learn how to do some plaits. Okay. Anyway, they get into the whole stress talk, and he doesn't feel like he don't know if he depressed or not, but he's open to getting feedback from a therapist. And I'm cool with that. And Miss Marlene says, you don't need no therapist. You just need to slow down, son. You just need to, you're doing too many things. You're doing too many things. And in my mind, I was like, well, clearly you're not doing enough. Okay. Because if you was doing too many things, you would, one of those things on that list would be studying for that builder's license. But I digress because we can talk about that builder's license all day long. Okay. And talk turns to Mel, okay, about him and Mel getting on the same page. And Miss Marlene reveals that she used to be so mad and frustrated seeing Martell run around working, because she said Martell was doing the doggone thing. Martell was working and working and putting in the work 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 and putting in the work. And so she was so upset when she would see Melody just laying around, ordering Martell around while the kids running around and stuff like that. So she was frustrated about that thing, and she letting it be known right now that she was frustrated. And so then she says this. She says, you did the doggone thing. And then you messed up and got a girl pregnant. And so what? And so what? I was like, what? And she said, so what? And I was like, oh, okay. That's what we doing, Miss Marlene. I didn't know you felt like that. Because then she said, yeah, so what, you got a girl pregnant? I mean, I ain't gonna lose no sleep over it. This ain't about you, mama. This ain't about you, Miss Marlene. This is about Melody and Martell. At the end of the day, you ain't got to lose no sleep on it. He didn't cheat on you. He cheated on her. Okay. So I get it. You are there for your son and you down for your son and all that kind of stuff like that. But let's not try to act like this was no small thing. It won't like he just fell into some, cakes one time. You know what I'm saying? He didn't just walk out the house and fall into some cakes. That ain't what happened. Okay. He was driving down the street, boogie-loogie, and heading on down to the street in a full-blown relationship with somebody. He didn't fall into no cakes, Miss Marlene. So it's a different situation, all right? It was levels to this thing, and he was at the highest level. He had beat the Super Mario Brothers game, okay? He had made it to the end. That's what he had done. So at the end of the day, I was like, girl, what is you doing? No, Miss Marlene, no, we're not going to say that, because now it feels like you are basically just kind of co-signing his bad behavior. And I don't like that. Okay. He reveals the argument about the kids knowing about Melody's song. Okay. And then she reveals that when the kids were singing the song, she told the kids, oh, that's just your mama singing about your daddy. And he's sitting there looking at her like, now said what? She was like, yeah, I told him there was the song was about you. You was being out there being trifling. She didn't say that. I made that up. And she just said basically that she told the kids that the song was mommy singing about daddy. And he's like, no, you shouldn't be. He was like, you shouldn't have done that. And mama says, you need to take that up with your ex-wife. I love how she threw her back on Melody in that moment. Okay. Let Love Reign says Martell issue is partially his mom not calling him out on his issues as a woman who experienced the same thing, standing up for him and wrong. Okay, wrong and strong, boo, wrong and strong. I feel you. Let Love Reign. That's how I felt too. So Martell is like, and I don't know if y'all noticed this, but this was such a funny moment to me. He was like, "Why are you acting like that?" She said, "Cause I'm sleepy." If y'all don't let Miss Marlene get some sleep next time, Carlos, listen, let Miss Marlene get some sleep. Actually, maybe not, because Miss Marlene was on one and it was funny. So don't let her sleep next time she about to film, okay? Martell then invites, Mama to the Destiny race. And she's like, oh, yeah, I'm going to come. Little do we know she ain't really interested in going. Over at the Scott Imperium, okay? Martell stops by. Now the Scott Imperium, I didn't know what that was, because I was like, is that just Maurice's office? I don't know. But the background looked good. Actually, I like that color background. It was a whole white and blue type theme. And then Maurice had then matched his whole entire suit to the theme of the office. I was like, now this is something right here. Anyway, Martell comes over, he peeping through the little mail hole. And I was thinking to myself, is having a mail slot in the door safe? I don't know, because I don't have one. But at the end of the day, I was like, now this is just me. I be thinking about how can the people get up in here? Okay. And I just feel like that little mail slot is just an opening into the kingdom. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like somebody could put something up in there. I don't know. I'm just not with that. Bruce says Miss Marlene switched all the way up because last season she was in Mel's face telling her how disappointed she was in her son and that Mel will always be her daughter-in-law. But you know what, though? I'm going to blame it on lack of sleep. Miss Marlene said she was sleeping. She probably didn't sleep the night before. Stressed, something like that. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? Maybe she was just up all night watching TV, watching the Netflix. Y'all know how we do. Thank you for that super chat, Bruce. You know I appreciate you. Okay. Now, we learned that the men are there at the Scott Emporium at the mall, wherever they're at. And they are there because they want a neutral place to meet up with Dr. Francis, who is coming for a session. Now, they are there because Maurice says that he wants them to feel like they are on neutral ground. So it just feels more like guys talking. Maurice, this was so, I just felt like that sounds crazy to me. Because at the end of the day, okay, whether if you was in the therapist's office, you are still a guy. Dr. Francis is still a guy. It's always going to be three guys talking, okay? Whether you at the mall, at the hair salon, getting your toes done, painting that wall blue, whatever you do, it's still going to be three guys talking, okay? So what it speaks to is this notion that somehow therapy is just not for men. And I'm like, especially in the Black community, where does this idea come from? Where does it come from? Because I would really like to know. Somebody help me understand, because I don't get it. Anyway, they call Marceau, and he reveals that he's just not going to make it. He's not going to make that session because he's not into it. You know what I want to say to that? Marceau, if you're not going to make this therapy session, don't complain to us anymore about being depressed. I don't want to hear it. Because when there's an opportunity for you to heal yourself or to get some guidance from somebody who obviously is a little bit older, a little bit wiser, you are choosing to go running instead, and you are letting your brothers down by not at least even participating in the session with them. You know what I'm saying? And I just felt like that was kind of cowardly to me. And then he said this, and this to me was probably one of the most ignorant statements I have ever heard. He says, he feels like Dr. Francis is more suited to listen to females or to men who think like females. And I just said to myself, the misogynistic and the misogynoir, or whatever they call it, you know what I'm saying? Because there'd be a lot of terms these days, okay? And I'm not going to even lie. I don't know them all, but, I'm learning. You know what I'm saying? So, but in my mind, I was just thinking to myself, that sounds so stupid to me. That sounds real stupid. So now the idea is that you got to think like a female in order to listen to a therapist like Dr. Francis, who in fact is going to give it to Martell and Maurice at this therapy session. He is going to give it to them in a way that I feel like those two men need to hear. Okay. Miss Nikki Nell says the fact that Maurice, just like his brother, believe their wives are the reason they are stuck in the 1950s man mindset. Boom, that part right there. Thank you, boo. So anyway, Dr. Francis stops by and catches up with Martell first. Then they turn to Maurice. Maurice thinks that because he's a high achiever, stress is just a factor that he's going to always have to deal with. Dr. Francis tells him that there's a difference between dealing with stress and escaping. Then Dr. Francis says, what is it costing me to get what I want? And how will I feel if I don't get it? And I really like this idea of, sometimes we will work ourselves to the bone. But at what cost are we sacrificing our own happiness or the happiness of our spouse or our significant other or our family or our kids for the things that we really want in this world? And I get it, because I am honestly similar to Maurice in that way, in that I want to work because I have this belief that I want to be successful, that I want to reach my goals. But I love what Dr. Francis said in this moment, and that's why I felt like it was really pertinent for Marceau to be there. We got a super chat from Simply Didi who says, Martell thinking of Mel, as Dr. F said, when you focus too much on work, you drop the ball with your spouse. Shows who was doing all the work in business. And I just felt like, I didn't like that Martell said that in that moment when he said that, Melody, was putting in too much work on her goals or whatever she was trying to do. And she was neglecting the kids. I didn't like that, because you don't ever want to paint the picture that the baby's mama or the baby's daddy don't really do what they're supposed to be doing. And I feel like he's always the first to go there. We got another super chat who says, from T-Ness, who says, everyone should visit the couch every now and then to learn life skills and tools. And I definitely agree with you on that. Thank you, T-Ness. Maurice believes that Kimmy is competing with all of his, goals. And Dr. Francis stops him in his tracks and tells him, stop blaming his wife because it is he who actually is the problem. Now, Dr. Francis says Maurice has 2 wives, okay? Because he has 2 competing interests in his life. All his work and his goals and his success, and then Kimmy. And that's why he puts all this extra stress on Kimmy, because he can't really handle all the things that he's trying to get done in for his own goals. So Martell and Maurice are really just sitting here like, wow. Like, they're just kind of shocked because Dr. Francis is really, he is going there with them. And that was part of why I really liked this episode so much, because Dr. Francis didn't pull no punches. And then he warns Maurice to be careful not to derail his relationship in his quest for entrepreneurship. The fact that this scene came right after the scene with Maurice and Kimmy is a part of the reason why I love this show. We see the issue there. They clearly paint us the picture that there's an issue in a very natural way. And now we get to a situation where they're addressing that issue in a therapy session. Perfect. That's very good producing right there. Stacy says therapy requires truth and honesty. Marceau can't do that. He's hiding too much. Latisha is naive and he needs her to stay that way. That is a very interesting observation, Stacy. Very interesting. Martell, we talked about how Martell reveals that Melody needs to hear all this because, she wasn't taking care of the kids, or she's neglecting the kids or something like that. Martell then reveals to Dr. Francis that he's hurt. Dr. Francis tells him to reframe how he views himself. That maybe it's not depression and maybe he's just feeling hurt because he's lost everything. And, he needs to change the way he views himself, and then he will change the way he views his situations. Okay. Dr. Francis really basically ends up telling them, decide who or what you want, and then do the things that you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Move in that direction. All right. It's the day of the Destiny race and the people are running. And when I watched the scene of the people running, at first I thought, because I watched it with my naked eye, and what I mean by that is I watched it from just a viewer's perspective. And I was like, why are there cars on the road? But then I thought to myself, well, they took an aerial shot, and so then they probably had people on the cars on the ground with the truck or whatever, filming the people as they were running. So I was like, okay, that makes sense. And the reason I brought that up is because I thought if I thought it, then somebody else might have thought it too. Okay. I forgot Tiffany was actually on this show, to be honest with you, because I hadn't seen her all episode, and I was just like, oh, she's still here. Anyway, Martell and Miss Marlene arrived late because his mom didn't really want to come. And it seems like Mel's mom and Martell's mom are on good terms. And Mel and Tiffany, we learned they took a shortcut during the race. So after the race is when all the drama starts. Miss Wanda shows up, and then Tiffany in 2 separate groups. There's 2 separate conversations going on for those who didn't see it. There's a conversation going on with Miss Wanda and Marceau and Latisha. They're kind of joking about, who came in first between, Latisha or Miss Wanda in the race. And then there's a separate conversation going on with the rest of the group. And Tiffany thanks everybody for coming out to their, anniversary thing at the baseball stadium. And then she's like, but how come it is that every time we get together, it's always some drama? And so then you have Destiny chiming in. Well, it's the Martell show, because Martell, you always have a tendency to get passive aggressive with Melody, and that's going to set her off. Okay. Now, at this point in time, Martell is trying to, speak up and defend himself. And he's saying that, women can't disrespect me like that or whatever. But Miss Marlene was waiting off to the side, baby. And Miss Marlene said, not on my watch. Okay. So she comes over and she gets up in Destiny's face and she's like, listen, you know what? She was like, you need to stop upholding Melody all the time. You always take her side in these situations, and you need to uphold them both equally since you both are their friends. And then she tells Destiny further, you are not even married to him. So you shouldn't even be speaking to him in that way. And then she proceeds to tell Melody, girl, handle yourself. So Destiny is like, nah, Miss Marlene, don't do that. Miss Marlene, don't do that to me. Because you wasn't even there, okay? And in my mind, I'm like, now, let me tell y'all something. The reason, let me say this. There's a reason I call the mamas Miss Marlene, Miss Wanda, and Miss Vanessa. And again, you ain't even got to be from the South to understand this, but this is why I do it, because particularly in the South, that's what we are taught. And I only talk about this because I am from the South. That's how we call people's mamas, okay? When they older, okay? When they older than the group that we are in, we call them Miss out of respect. And as such, it was shocking to me to see Destiny getting so bucked with Miss Marlene. I was like, now I know it made for a good show, and it definitely made for a good scene. But in my mind, I was like, I know you're not talking to, you are directly in this woman's face. And I understand Miss Marlene was coming in hot. But at the end of the day, I was like, how you gonna talk to Miss Marlene like that? So then Tiffany chimes in, and I don't know whose side she was trying to be on, but she was like, yo, it was technically my anniversary. And then Miss Marlene was like, well, happy anniversary to you, okay? But at the end of the day, y'all not gonna keep on ganging up on my son like this. And you know Martell is just as giddy as a kid in a schoolyard. He just running and jumping. Next thing you know, he's beside Melody. Melody, who is literally just sitting there quiet as a church mouse, okay? Because I'm sure she is glad that today it is not her in the center of an argument, okay? Either that or she was amused. I couldn't tell which one, but she was definitely quiet as a church mouse. She was like, I'm not, not today. Somebody else gonna have to do the work today. Y'all got this. So anyway, they kind of diffuse the situation. And, but Destiny is like, she's not done yet. She's like, you lucky that today you got your bodyguard with you. And Miss Marlene is like, I'm not his bodyguard. I'm his mama. Okay. And Destiny's like, well, mama bodyguard, but I'm going to definitely come back and get this situation. Okay. So then Miss Marlene's like, I'm ready to go. Get me up out of here. And so she goes on over. She want to speak to Miss Vanessa, because they got a good relationship. And Miss Vanessa is very happy to see her or whatever. And they hug, and suddenly Miss Wanda rolls up. Oh no, you could already tell by the look on Miss Vanessa's face that she is not feeling Miss Wanda. And I was like, because I'm not that tapped in. I'm not too tapped into all the social media antics that go on with this show, because I just feel like sometimes it just be team too much. You know what I'm saying? And it's probably only team too much because I'm heavily focused on Housewives. I'm heavily focused on, some other shows. So I would definitely be a lot more focused on Love and Marriage Huntsville, social media if I wasn't so focused on Housewives. But be that as it may, there's some beef that's going on there because Miss Vanessa don't like the things that Miss Wanda been posting on social media about. Apparently Miss Wanda had said something about how Mel and Martell's children was going to be jealous of Marceau and Latisha's children and was going to cut their hair off. Now, I'm going to tell y'all another thing. This must be another thing from the South because, baby, let me tell you something. Who is running around here thinking that the children going to cut the other children's hair? And what they're going to do with the hair? They're going to bury it? They're going to burn it? What they going to do with it? What are they going to do with the hair? What are they going to do with it? They're going to sew it up and make a weave? I don't understand that. This, to me, I was like, I don't know. We also learned at this moment, and this is what Miss Vanessa is telling Miss Marlene, and apparently also Miss Wanda, according to Miss Vanessa, okay, Miss Wanda had been putting stuff on Instagram about how the side chicks of a man need to get everything that the wife is getting or whatever. Now, Miss Marlene is like, I think I left a pot on the stove or something. I got to go, y'all. Bye. And Miss Marlene is up out of there because Miss Marlene says, I am not about the mess. I did not come here for this. I stays in my lane, okay? I am not about this mess. I'm out, okay? So then, Miss Vanessa tells Miss Wanda that she's being messy on social media or whatever like that, and that Melody would never take any advice from Miss Wanda because of the things that Miss Wanda says on social media. So Miss Wanda basically asked if Miss Vanessa, And the other reason why Melody wouldn't respect anything that Miss Wanda got to say is because Miss Wanda got a husband and a boyfriend. Now, this was apparently something that Miss Wanda put out on the social media herself. Well, let me say this about that. Now, I don't know what kind of relationships y'all got out there. You know, I'm not here to judge. But to me, it sounds like if you got a situation where you got a husband and you got a boyfriend, I mean, you could be winning in that position, because depending on what they're doing for you, if they're helping you pay the bills, I mean, you might have an interesting situation there that might work for you. And I can't be mad at that. So to me, I mean, that's just how I see it. Anyway, Miss Wanda then says, well, I got a question. I got a question for you. I'm just asking a question. Ain't you out here cheating? Won't you out here cheating? Mm-hmm. And Miss Vanessa's like, lady, get out of here. Lady, gone somewhere. Lady, gone somewhere. And then Miss Vanessa basically tells her that she does not do ghetto. Okay, and this basically sets Miss Wanda off, and she goes off in her confessional about being ghetto. You're not going to call me ghetto, because if I take off this wig and if I take off these earrings and get into you, that would be ghetto. But right now, she is not going ghetto at all, in no way, shape, or form. Oh, no. Oh, no. But then Miss Vanessa tells her, you got enough going on in your own family. You keep your little hands and your little brain focused on Latisha and Marcel. And then that's when Miss Wanda tells her, well, you got a big head and a big brain. And I was like, now having a big brain is probably a good thing, but I'm sure if you got a big head, you want a big brain to fill up the space. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, let me tell you something. This whole situation was pure comedy. And if you ain't see it twice, listen, baby, you missing something. You guys, I mean, it's the ghetto for me. It's the ghetto for me. It's the ghetto for me, and the question for me. Okay, and the question for me. All right. So to make matters worse, Mel comes over and she carrying one of the babies. This scene was just like something right out of the South. Let me tell you, baby. Melody came carrying that baby over on her. Y'all know how somebody stand when they carrying a baby and their leg be out like this, and they, you know, because you kind of balance it, right? And so Mel comes over, you know, balancing the baby on the hip, got that one leg cocked out. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You seen it. And she come up, what's going on, y'all? What's happening? And that, in my mind, I was like, oh, Mel, get the baby out of here, because they using words like ghetto and stuff like that, and you don't want the baby to hear that, okay? So anyway, they still going at it. Then Latisha comes over and she basically takes her mom's side and she calls Miss Vanessa, oh Lord, she calls Miss Vanessa a cyberbully. Yeah, you've been cyberbullying. At first, I thought she was going in the right direction because she was trying to tell both of them that they was wrong. And then I said, okay, you might be trying to diffuse the situation. Oh no, you just called her a cyberbully. You're not trying to diffuse the situation. You just got your mama back, okay? And so at that point, she's trying to talk to Miss Vanessa, and she puts her hand on Miss Vanessa's wrist, and Miss Vanessa's like, get your hands off of me. Get your hands off of me. And Miss Wanda's like, now, she was just trying to talk to you. She was just trying to talk to you, okay? So at the end of the day, Latisha's point was that they do the same things to each other, okay? And Mel basically has to educate them both, specifically Miss Wanda, that they all have sides of them that they need to work on. So Latisha finally takes Miss Wanda off to the side, and Miss Wanda is ready. She lets us know that she is ready to put hands on Miss Vanessa. Oh yeah, she is ready. I mean, it has gotten there. And that's when you know it has gotten real ghetto, because she is ready to put these paws on Miss Vanessa. And don't let her see Miss Kimmy right now either, because she will put paws on her too, okay? The ghetto of it all. Anyway, she calls Melody a snake, and she warns Melody to stop. She warns Latisha to stop acting out. Latisha wants her mom to stop acting out, and then confronts her about the Kimmy situation from earlier in the season. And she wants her mom to trust her to handle her friends. And now she's saying that she doesn't want to invite her mom to any more group events for a while. Now, my problem with this is, didn't they come to this conclusion last year? I could have swore they came to this conclusion. No, actually, it was last year. It was earlier this season. And now 3 times the lady, it's again. She's claiming that she's not going to invite her mama to any more group events. Lies, because we know Miss Wanda will be back. Because this show is, I mean, Miss Wanda is a part of this show. She makes some of the best chaos, okay? She makes some of the best chaos because every time she come up in the scene, you don't know what's about to happen, okay? It's gonna get ghetto, okay? Well, maybe not ghetto because she said she didn't take off her wig and she didn't take off her earrings, so it may not get ghetto. But I got a question for you. How many of you guys are looking forward to seeing more Miss Wanda in the future? I am. I know I am. Okay, Miss Wanda could show up every episode for me. She could just have a little side commentary because I just want to see what's going on with her life, especially if she got a boyfriend and a husband. Now that's some interesting TV. That's some Stevie J and Mimi and Jocelyn type of situation right there. And I feel like I need to see it. Okay, I need to see for myself what's going on down there in the Huntsville area. Tammy says we can always count on Miss Wanda to stir the pot with her broken. Oh God, so disrespectful. All these questions. Baby, let me tell you something. I enjoyed myself this episode so much so that again, I had to see it twice. Now. That's all I got for y'all today. I just came on here with the foolishness with y'all and yak it up with y'all for a minute about this episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Wanted everything. It was everything. And again, it resonates so well for me because again, I am from the country. So for me, and I know y'all, you guys may hear it a little bit more now, especially the more I've gotten comfortable on YouTube. But in general, you don't hear it. I can kind of weave in and out of my countryness a little bit. I can kind of code switch depending on the situation. You know what I'm saying? If I'm talking on the news, it's coming out a little bit more when I talk on like Good Day in DC and stuff like that because I've gotten more comfortable. But when I'm talking to y'all, it'll come out a lot more, right? Especially when we're talking about something like this. And so that's why it resonates with me so well because these are country folks right here. And I live for a country mess, okay? Give me an old country buffet any old day and I'm good, all right? That's all I got for y'all. Listen, y'all know I love y'all. It's Sunday fun day. Y'all go out there, have a good time today. Tell somebody else you love them as well. Spread that love around. Y'all know how it is. We trying to do that all on thing and keep it, as positive as possible. And I'm gonna catch y'all in the next video.